Antilochus listened closely, hating every word. He stood there speechless a while, struck dumb, tears filling his eyes, his strong voice choked. But he still would not neglect Atrides' order, so handing his gear to a loyal aide, Laodocus, who maneuvered his pawing horses close by, he set off at a run. But he wept freely now as his feet swept him clear of the close fighting, bearing the dreadful news to Peleus' son Achilles. But you, Menelaus, O my king, you had no heart to defend the Pylians, hard pressed as they were, once their leader left, a heavy blow to his troops. And putting the veteran Thrasymedes in command, he ran back to bestride Patroclus' corpse again, and flanking the two Aeantes now, reported briskly, "I sent Antilochus, he's off to the fast ships to tell the swift Achilles, but I've little hope he'll come at all, for all his rage at Hector. How can he fight the Trojans without armor? So come, alone as we are, find the best way out. How do we pull the body clear and save ourselves from the Trojan uproar, flee our death, our fate?" The great Telamonian Ajax answered firmly, "All true, straight to the point, Lord Menelaus. Quickly, you and Meriones shoulder up the body, carry it off the lines. We're right behind you, fighting the Trojans, fighting this Prince Hector. The two Aeantes bearing the same fury, the same name, and no strangers at standing up to slashing Ares, each defending the other side by side." So he urged, and up from the earth they caught the body in their arms, hoisting it high above their heads with a great heave. And Trojan forces crowding behind them shouted out when they saw the Argive fighters lift the corpse. They swept in like hounds that fling themselves at a wounded boar before young hunters reach him, darting in for a moment, keen to rip the boar apart till he wheels at bay, ramping into the pack with all his power, and the hounds cringe and bolt and scatter left and right. And so the Trojans kept on pressing, squad on squad, stabbing away with swords and two-edged spears, till the two called Ajax wheeled against them hard to make a stand, and they turned white. None had nerve to charge forth now and fight it out for the corpse. So they labored to haul Patroclus from the war back to the beaked ships, as fighting flared behind them, wild as a flash fire, sprung out of nowhere, storming down on a teeming city, houses caving in to the big blaze as gale winds whip it into a roaring conflagration. So rose the relentless din of horse and fighting men breaking against them now as they struggled back to shore. Dead set as mules who put their backs in the labor, dragging down from the cliffs along a stony trail some roof beam or a heavy ship timber, slogging on till they nearly burst their hearts with sweat and labor. So they strained to carry off the corpse. Right behind them the two Aeantes held the Trojans off as a wooded rocky ridge, stretched out across an entire plain, holds back a flood, fighting off the killer tides of the mounting rivers, beating them all back to swamp the lowland flats. None of their pounding waves can make a breakthrough. So the two Aeantes kept on beating the Trojans off, but on they came, assaulting the rear, two in the lead, Aeneas the son of Anchises flanking glorious Hector. Flying before them now like clouds of crows or starlings screaming murder, seeing a falcon dive in for the kill, the hawk that wings grim death at smaller birds. So pursued by Aeneas and Hector, Argive fighters raced, screaming death cries, lust for battle lost, and masses of fine armor littered both sides of the trench as the Argives fled in fear. No halt in the fighting, not now.